Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming on and watching live. I am Amanda. I am the owner of the Nautical Dog in Williamsburg, Virginia. And today on here, we've got Rita Hogan, Canine Herbalist. Thank you so much for joining us. So excited. The summit for the More You Know Wellness Summit is coming up in 2 weeks. And Rita is a sponsor as well. She will be in attendance there. And if you have questions from the day, please go ask her. I'm sure she would love to talk to you guys and meet you guys. So Rita, thank you for coming on. If you guys are watching right now, make sure you comment with the hashtag the more you know. We are going to be raffling off a book today in case you guys haven't heard about it. The New Forever Dog Life by Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney Habib, who are two of our speakers for the summit. Rita's got hers. If you don't have this book yet, you guys, you got to get it. It's absolutely amazing. We love it. And I cannot wait to talk to Dr. Becker in person, as well as Rodney, and hear all about the book and more things. And someone else has a book coming out that we'll talk about in a minute. But first things first, Rita, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, and why everyone loves you so much.
Oh, that's sweet. My name is Rita Hogan, and I'm a clinical canine herbalist, and I'm not the canine herbalist. I'm a canine herbalist. There are others of us out there, and hopefully quite a few more. After a couple years of, I'm putting together a new school of holistic canine herbalism, and I've been practicing for over 20 years. Absolutely love what I do. I use a blend of, well, of course, diet. And flower essences, regular herbs, powdered herbs, tinctured herbs, glycerates, phytoembryonic therapy, pretty much any type of herbal derived remedy, and just love it. So live it, breathe it, can't get enough of it. And hopefully I'll live like 5 lifetimes being an herbalist.
That's awesome. So we talked about the book that's coming up, The Forever Dog Life, but you also have a book coming out very soon. Would you like to tell us about your book coming out?
Sure, but just in The Forever Dog Life, if you turn to page 151, I just want to tell you that I'm in here, and I just found this out recently.
You are.
Right there at the top. See it?
Look at that. Look at that. So yeah,
that's like
peak already,
right? Oh my god! That is like,
I feel like so honored to be.
Oh my god!
Oh my
I was
god.
like, I didn't even know it. Like I did this review for them because I just love the book, and my friends had to call me and say, "Did you turn to page 151?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, I read it. Like, you didn't see it?" I'm like, "No, what?" And they're like, "Turn to page 151." And I did. I was like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, that was it's really an honor, like super an honor. Yeah, just amazing. Like as an herbalist and as a dog herbalist, as a in my herbal communities, like with herbalists, my mentors or my peers, they're like dog herbalist, and like, yeah, I deal with dogs, mostly dogs, a little bit of cats, and branching out into a bit of horses because I have a horse, and that kind of stuff. But I mainly work with dogs and their people, and they just like, oh, tell me more. But like here in the dog community, it's a huge honor to be in Rodney and Karen's book. Like
1,000%.
just a little mention. Wow. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I have. What'd you say?
You got a whole page.
Only just a little top, but it's very nice. But I got an honorable mention. I love it. But yeah, I have a book coming out. It's coming out in February. It ships on February 4th. So 2025. And that's like tomorrow.
It is.
I mean, really, it's like tomorrow. In the book world, it's like tomorrow because there's a process, in which you're in a traditional publishing experience. There's a process. You have all these due dates, and you have to stick to them, and you're like, oh my god, I don't have enough time, even though it feels like it's a long time. So yeah, it's coming out. I'm super excited about it. I'm super proud of it, and happy to get the information out there to help people learn how to use herbs with their dogs and according to plant language, like kind of herbalist stuff. So I'm
Which is
really
great.
excited about
I mean, I've told you already, and I think a lot of people know. I know a lot about dog food, nutrition, supplements, herbs. Whew, that one goes over my head a lot. And people ask me all the time, and you're a good reference point for that. And I know the basics, but there's so much more to learn about that. So I'm super excited about the book. We will have the book when it is available at Nautical Dog for purchase as well. And yeah, yeah, awesome. Can't wait for your book. So,
Thank you so much.
you're coming here in a couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about all the things Forever Dog Life, which leads me to we are in the summer, and I think it's hot. I don't know. You're a little bit cooler. What's your temperature right now? You're a lot cooler than we are, I think.
Oh yeah. It's been a little overcast this week. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I'm about an
Oh,
hour
oh, it's so
south of
nice here.
Seattle. So yeah. But usually our summers are really beautiful. I'm hoping July is a lot better than this, but there still can get really hot. Most of the country is hot and humid in the United States. So we have to watch our dogs and support our dogs in the summer. Uh, the summer mostly is about the heart and supporting the heart and the small digestion in general, which is governed by the small intestine. And so we support those two things during the summer with certain herbs depending on your dog. I like to work in a preventative manner. Another one of my heart projects is this project called the Seasonal Dog, and it's going to be a book and a course, and it's like dealing with your dog in a preventative health manner throughout each season. And you just kind of do the same thing every season, kind of a mix of the same things every season to help prevent disease and have a plan versus being reactive. And so, one thing I love to do in the summer is just support the heart. Uh, whether I'm not going to wait for a heart condition. I'm going to support the heart. And if your dog does have a heart condition, then this is the best time to work in a preventative manner with that condition or be on the lookout for heart issues. Like if your dog has like congestive heart failure or is on vetmedin or has a different like a heart murmur or heart weakness in general with a myriad of names that the vet is going to give you for that condition. This is a time where your dog will have an issue, like
Mhm.
it's much not will, but has a much more like a proponency to have an issue much more than in the fall or the winter or the spring. Summer is that time to address the heart, but also support it and be on the lookout. So,
What about and I know we haven't like really got into specifics of herbs or anything like that yet, but what up any opinions on, you've got, your pugs, your French bulldogs, your boxers with like the smushy face, like that is very, very common to come in my store where you have these dogs. I mean, right now it's like 97 here today. And it's humid on top of that. So not super fun, but these dogs come in panting and they're clearly like in some sort of distress. Do you have any like
yeah, so the brachiocephalic dogs are hard because one of the things that you need to worry about is you need to worry about lung capacity, breathing, opening up those passages in their olfactory system, the face, right?
Mhm.
Um, they don't breathe as well,
No,
especially in these hot, humid conditions. So, my thing is, we take them out early in the morning. I have pugs and bulldogs. So
you know.
I know. And I used to live with pugs in Tennessee where it was very hot and humid. And we'd take them out in the morning before it literally started ramping up. Like, I usually got up at 6 or 7, brought them out for their walk, got them some exercise, played, and then they would come in the house. And then when it started getting hot out, we'd go out for potty and come back in. Um, because they don't have the capacity to expel heat like a lab that has a nice big full nose. They don't pant hard when they start panting, you don't want to get them to the panting phase.
Hmm.
So it's really hard for them to cool their bodies down. So a couple of things that really help, um, and any hot dog that's panting and quite hot, there's two things that are awesome in summer. Um, well, you could do three things, but um, cucumber water. So organic cucumbers only, but you slice up cucumbers, put it in water, let it soak overnight, and then give them that water. Or you can just slice up cucumbers, drop it in the bottom of their bowl. Cucumber is a refrigerant, and that means that it's super cold. And so, or cucumber slices too as treats. Those are really good. You can like cucumber water and then watermelon seed water. You take you don't buy the seedless watermelons, buy a nice organic seeded watermelon. You take all the watermelon seeds out and you drop them in you can drop like a handful in the bottom of the bowl, depending on how the big, like if this is Chihuahua, we only need like maybe 5 or 6 seeds. But like drop some
This
seeds
is
in
the
the bottom of
seeds,
the bowl.
not the watermelon, the actual seeds.
Yes, the actual
Okay.
seeds.
Okay.
Um, Watermelon seed and cucumber really bring down the temperature, and they can get a dog from panting to non-panting in like 15 minutes. Just
Really?
yes, it's
See,
really great.
the
You
more
can
you
also
know. I'm
feed
learning here.
watermelon. Yeah, you can also feed watermelon as a snack. Um,
Well, there's a great recipe in the Forever Dog Life, the lycopene liquors that is made with watermelon.
so that is very cooling.
Yes.
Cucumbers and watermelon are very cooling, and so that's something you can do to bring down heat really quickly. Um, There's also a plant, it's called New England aster, and it comes in a tincture. I have it on my website. Um, that is it's a good tincture to have in your emergency kit because it helps dilate the lungs and it helps open up the passageways in the lungs. Um, so that I like to have that. Then there's Myco Dog Breathe tincture, which is
Love
nice too
that.
in the
I
summer.
love that.
Um, for those types of dogs that might have a problem with breathing, I like to mix the New England Aster with the Breathe, and then um, and then just in general, just keep them the brachiocephalic dog. Just keep them out. Don't go for a walk when it's super hot,
Yeah.
and try to do interactive exercise inside. Um, and other dogs, they don't seem to, they can expel heat. They don't have a problem. Plus, you can also get those nice cooling wraps for dogs.
Hmm.
You can wrap them in a nice, cool, if they're hot, don't wrap them if they're not hot. But, um, and then, of course, energetically, dogs that are more warm or hot are going to have a much harder time in the summer than a dog that's cool. But even a dog that's cool can get hot in the summer, right? Just like a person who's cool can get hot in the summer, but they're just not going to get hot as quickly. So we want to, for those warm dogs, we really want to focus on more cooling proteins and stuff. Um, and then there's herbs that can bring down heat well, as well. So like summer herbs, one of the summer herbs that I love, for dogs that are more like warm, I like to use and if your dog to figure out if your dog's warm or cool, the simplest thing is how they deal with heat. Like if you want to take an educated guess, like if they love the sun and love to sit in it and you have to force them to get out of the sun, most likely they're a cool dog. If they love to sit in the sun for 10 to 15 minutes and then go sit in the shade, most likely they're a warm dog. Um uh you know, that's like the gist of it. How much do they love that heat element? Do they love to be covered up in the wintertime? Do they love to snuggle and be warm and cozy? That's more of a cool dog. Our warm dogs like to lay on a tile floor and they don't really seek out heat all that much. Um, so that's just the gist of that. But like herbs that for the heart that are also cooling, hawthorn leaf and flower. So hawthorn berry, which is what most people use,
Yes.
is more on the warming side. It can be used like acutely during the summer, a blend. Um, it can be used for almost any dog, but it is more warming. But if I have a warm dog or like a warm dog that I want to support their heart, I use hawthorn leaf and flower. And I use a tincture or a powder. You can also use a powder. Usually it'll come in a tincture. And just, like dosage is pretty easy with a tincture. So if it's a regular tincture, extra small dog, which is a Chihuahua, one drop, 1 or 2 drops. And
When
then
you say drops, do you mean actual
single
drops?
drops,
Do you
little
mean
tiny
like
drops
little
that come
okay.
out of the dropper, 1 to
And
2
how are you
drops.
administering them? Are you giving them, like, directly in the mouth? Are you adding it to food? How
I
are
like to
you
get them in the mouth in a
Okay,
little bit of water, but you can
okay,
put them in the food too.
okay,
You can definitely put them in the food, especially if you're just doing support.
okay,
You can put them in the food. And then for a regular dog, like a small dog, like a pug, right? That's like 2 to 3 drops. A medium dog, like a spaniel or a corgi, like a 50-pound dog. Uh, my basset hound is 55 pounds, so she'd be like a medium dog. Um, like 3 to 4 drops, extra large or large dog like a golden retriever, 4 to 5, 6 drops, and then an extra large dog like 5 to 8 drops, just depending
which
on how big.
goes a very long way.
Yeah, little goes for preventative, a little goes a long way. And then you can use powders in the food. Um, those are easy. And then there's other remedies for summer. There is like cleavers, which helps the lymphatic system. And it also helps cool dogs down. Um, calendula for more dogs that are more cool. It helps, for dogs that are more on the cool side, it's important to keep their core warm, and they love summer because it does keep them warm. But calendula is a lovely herb. Uh, milk thistle seed is good for summer. It helps with the liver that can get congested during the summer, and also the digestive system. It has some affinity towards the kidney, and it helps like bile. And that's going to help with digestion because we want our dog's digestion to be solid during the summer. That's when they're going to have problems with digestion, more acid reflux, more gagging, spitting, vomiting, bile vomiting, yellow vomiting. You're going to see in summer. You're also going to see more hot spots and things like that. And milk thistle seed can help with that. Yarrow is a really great herb for summer.
Oh,
In fact, little tip, um, if like on Etsy, um, you can get people that make yarrow oil,
okay.
infused yarrow oil, and that is an excellent sunscreen. So you can mix that oil with like 50-50 with raspberry seed oil and rub it on any spots that are exposed to the sun, that are, bare spots. And that oil is just an excellent sunscreen. It's a natural sunscreen. I love that in summer. And then a sun, like for sunburn, there
Mhm,
is there is a product by Noni Pup, called Boop Butter.
mhm.
Um, and it heals the sunburn. I mean, it'll heal it overnight.
I
It's
just wanna
amazing.
know, does that work for humans too?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes. It's a dog line, but,
Did that last week.
yeah, I helped formulate that line. So,
Oh, wow, okay,
Boop Butter,
okay.
it heals the sunburn overnight. It's awesome.
Wow.
Um, uh, it's just a byproduct of the formula. Didn't
Okay.
really know that until we started testing it out to notice that I put it on a burn, and I was like, "Oh my god," the next day that burn was like you couldn't even barely see it. I was like, "Oh my god." So then I started just kind of going eep and just seeing how fast it would heal a burn, and it's amazing. So I've used it on to get the thump out of for humans, like to get the thump out of the skin.
Yep.
When you get a bad burn, you know that you can feel your heartbeat in it.
Yeah,
Like you rub it on and the burn's almost gone the next day.
that's
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah. Um, but back to our heart support and cooling herbs. There's a whole bunch. There's artichoke. I did mention heart support for calendula. Dandelion is nice and cooling. Dandelion root or dandelion root with dandelion leaf. Gotu kola. Gotu kola supports the heart. It supports the lymphatic system. It supports connective tissue. It supports the gut. Love gotu kola, and it's nice and cool. Um, lemon balm is lovely and cooling, and it helps relax the nervous system. It helps support the heart. The only thing with lemon balm, you could give it during the summer, like acutely, a few times a week, or what as needed. Like maybe a tea of lemon balm, like it's cooled. Your
Hmm.
dog will drink it, and it's nice and cool. You just want to avoid it with dogs that have hypothyroid.
Oh, me too.
Um, yeah, it slows down thyroid function. Um, i- it's not gonna be hard on them, like giving it a couple times a week. But if you gave it daily, you'd want to
Okay.
not give it to a dog with hypothyroid.
Okay.
Um, violet, violet. The little beautiful
Yeah.
little blue violets, Viola odorata. They are lovely at bringing down temperature and getting things to move. Circulation is a big deal in summer. You want to keep circulation up. And the reason why is because if your fluids aren't circulating in the body, you can't cool yourself down. So you need to have adequate fluids like bone broth, different types of broth, mushroom broth, and any type of extra liquid that you can get into your dog. I like to do like more healthy liquids. I love to like make mushroom decoctions, which is just like putting a bunch of water over mushrooms, chopping the mushrooms up, putting a bunch of water over them, let them cook for like 2 hours, and then let it cool, and then adding that throughout the week to my dog's food,
Great.
refrigerate it, um, getting them extra moisture. Bone broth, really good for
There's
extra
some great
moisture.
recipes in the New
Yeah,
Forever Dog Life book for broth and liquids
it is.
and
Definitely. A lot of their like fun little things that you refrigerate in there. Circulating fluids are just vital to cooling the body off in the summer. If you're someone that doesn't drink a lot of water, you really want to drink a lot of water during the summer because you're going to be cooler. It's going to keep you cool. A lot of when I work with people and they're always complaining of being hot, like, oh my God, this weather is just, you know, I
I
always
feel
ask questions, so how much water do you drink? Oh, I don't drink much water. I drink a lot of tea, which doesn't add to that moisture level. I drink a lot of soda, which takes away moisture. So like those types of things are not just because you're drinking liquids does not mean you're drinking stuff that hydrates you and helps with circulation. So
I drink a
circulation,
lot of coffee. I'm sure it's not helping.
no, no, but it is a stimulant. So
Right.
coffee is a stimulant, and stimulants help. Like yarrow is also stimulating, and it helps with circulation.
Oh, okay.
Um, uh,
It's doing something.
what'd you say?
It's doing something for me then.
Right? A little bit of coffee. Not good for everyone, but for
Yeah.
people who tolerate it,
Yeah.
absolutely. I am not a coffee person. I wish I was, but it's too stimulating for me.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
What are other, than cooling, what are some other things that people are looking for in the summertime with their pets that herbs could be useful for?
Well, digestion alone. So, like I said, you get a lot of acid reflux in the summer. You can get more acid reflux because the digestive enzymes, like all the enzymes released by the pancreas, um, and the enzymes in the gut, like gastrin, they get lower in the summer when your dog's digestion isn't as like when you're not supporting it. So you can get acid reflux. And one of the things that you can do for that is you can give a digestive enzyme in the summer with your food. You can also give something like marshmallow root or slippery elm. Adored Beast has a supplement called Gut Soothe.
Yep, that's a good
That's
one.
good for the summer.
That's one.
Um, something like that. I'm sure you sell that in your store.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Gut Soothe or slippery on marshmallow root, things like that, add more moisture to the gut, can help with acid reflux.
Okay.
Um, things like, again, a lot of the herbs, herbs just don't do one thing. They do so many things, but
Right.
like two of my favorite herbs for just those types of things is calendula and cleavers. Those two really help with so many things, liver, kidney, uh, gut, digestion, heart, all that stuff.
Okay.
So, anything that you can do to support healthy digestion is going to help during the summer months
Okay.
because dogs get really hot or hot spots,
That's
right?
a big one.
Yeah. So hot spots um, are a product of liver congestion. And then the liver, it gets warm and it pushes out to the skin. That's the easiest way I can explain it. But it can push out to the skin because in the summer you get you can get a lot of diarrhea or you can get a lot of constipation. So depending on what type of dog you have.
Okay.
Cool dogs are much more prone to constipation, where warm dogs are much more prone to diarrhea. Diarrhea can be dealt with very easily with an herb called blackberry. So blackberry leaf, our yummy blackberries,
Yeah.
the leaf of the blackberry is so good. It's an antibacterial and it's really good at astringing, tightening up tissues. And so you can use it for when the stool gets too loose. And then for constipation, things like slippery elm and
Yes.
things like marshmallow root can really help uh, uh, with that. They can help. Well, slippery elm can help with diarrhea and constipation. It's very balancing. Both of them are very balancing. But when you give a larger dose of slippery elm or a larger dose of marshmallow root, it can really help with constipation. In the summertime. But the cool thing is that slippery elm can also help externally on a hot spot.
So that
Um,
was what my question was going to be. When we're talking herbs, are we giving them all orally? Can they be used topically? Like how?
so many herbs have both topical and internal uses.
Okay.
So hawthorn, not so much. But cleavers, yes. Chickweed, when your dog gets super hot and itchy, you can get chickweed and make like a cold infusion and then spray it on your dog or rinse your dog with it. A lot of like calendula is excellent to make a rinse. Um, Calendula can give a rinse on a hot spot. You can mix bentonite clay and water together. On my business page on Facebook, you'll see a recipe that I posted like 2 days ago, how to make bentonite clay water for hot spots. Um, God, dandelion makes a great rinse. There's so many, really.
You just go grab dandelion that's outside and
Yeah.
do something with that? Okay.
Chop it up,
Okay.
put hot water over it.
As long as it's not been sprayed, let me like clarify
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like if you've been spraying your yard. Where do you find all these herbs? Like where are we finding the tinctures, the herbs? Where if
Um,
someone's watching this and they want
I
to go buy XYZ, where are we going?
I carry a lot of tinctures.
Okay.
By the end of the year, I will be carrying most herbal powders. I grow a lot of my own herbs. But right now, like for herbal powders, I go to mountainroseherbs.com. I trust them a lot. And then there's so many herbalists locally to people. Like if you go to farmers markets, you're going to find an herbalist there. But powders, I like to buy mine at Mountain Rose Herbs. I try to avoid Amazon for herbal powders.
Okay.
Um, but you can get things on Amazon, like Star West Botanicals. You can order dried herbs from, and
But you have
I
a
use
lot on your website too.
I do. I just don't have a lot of dried herbs.
Okay.
So it's a matter of storage, and so we're expanding our store storage so that we can.
Okay.
They need to be stored properly, and so that we can offer. I can store herbs to sell during the year, and
Okay.
they need to be stored properly, otherwise they're icky.
Okay.
They get icky.
Um, we do have a couple questions. Some of them are on topic, some of them are not, but we'll see if we can maybe answer a few of them. Just to find them. Oh, Julie wants to know what's the name of your book, Rita?
Oh, the herbal dog.
The Herbal Dog. There you go. All right, that's easy enough. Julie, it's the Herbal Dog, and she said it'll be out in February. So
Yeah, and you can pre-order it anywhere you purchase books.
Um, let's see. Someone wants to know, maybe you can answer this, maybe you cannot. Do you have any suggestions for urethral cancer support?
For what?
Urethral cancer support. like bladder cancer?
Oh, violet.
Okay, Connie, violet.
And
Um,
and most cancer is toxicity, so you'll want to support the lymphatic system and the liver, definitely. But
okay,
yes,
and
mushrooms and violet.
all right. Yep, mushrooms, violet. I know we've got lots of mushrooms here. And Connie is local to myself here. Someone asked a super fun question. I saw it up here earlier. Let me go back and find it. Where did it go? It's a good one. This might be hard for you. Julie wants to know, what is your all-time favorite herb?
Oh,
That's a tough one, probably.
hard one. My all-time favorite herb. If I was stranded on a desert island and I had to
What
pick
would the
one
herb
thing,
be that you had
it
to take
would
with
be
you?
nettles.
Nettles.
It would be nettles. I think nettles would be the herb that I would choose if I had to just pick
And
one
why
herb
nettle?
because they do so much. They're systemic. They treat the whole body. They provide nourishment. They're full of minerals, which your body needs to survive. Um, and they help with allergies and arthritis and bone density and brain function and heart function. I mean, they're so they just you know what they do. One of my mentors, Matthew Wood, told me this eons ago. He said that nettles um, help things that stop working,
So,
and and I was like, I love that. I love that. They help things that stop working. So I definitely, if I had to pick one herb, I would pick nettles, but I love so many like mullein and calendula, and I just love those. I love mullein so much, mullein root, and I love mullein. I love all of my little herbal friends though, even the ones that I don't use. But nettles are just fantastic, and people are afraid because they sting. And um um, but like you can use St. John's wort to rub on the nettle sting, and it goes away.
I
So
know Green Juju has their freeze dried green product that has nettles in it. So makes it that's pretty easily accessible.
yeah, it's really hard to answer, but I'm going to pick nettles for
Okay.
today. I'm
For
picking nettles.
today. That if you ask her at the summit in a couple weeks, it might be different.
Totally different.
I wanted to talk to you before. First of all, if anyone has any questions, please make sure you ask. We will try to answer them. And also make sure you comment with that hashtag that you see scrolling across the screen because we are going to raffle off some books. Your courses, you have so many courses, and if anyone is interested in learning more, they can take your courses. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah. So I am currently in the process of building a holistic canine herbalism school. I have a level one introduction to canine herbalism. Um, it's it's probably it's a long course. So there'll be 3 of those, and then the 4th course will be certification. And it'll probably take someone about 3 years to 3 to 4 years to get certified.
Wow.
Um, Education takes time. I've been working at this for over 20 years, and sometimes I have what is it called? Imposter syndrome, where you wake up in the morning and you're like, "Oh my god, I don't know anything." And compared to some of like my mentors and stuff, that people that teach me, and that how, it's like, "Oh my god." And so everyone's right where they need to be, but it takes time. People want to learn herbalism and be a certified herbalist in 6 months, you know. I would be afraid of that herbalist. I just, if someone learns herbalism in 6 months, yeah, there's certain things they can use, and they can use it with your dog especially. But like when you are putting your hands into someone else's care for very serious things, like, we can't practice medicine as herbalists. So, you have to learn how to balance the body. So you really need to understand anatomy and how the body works. And there's a lot of things that go into being an herbalist that just isn't about herbs. And you have to understand herbs as individuals. And then once you start working with them, you don't want to be an armchair herbalist. You just read a book and now you're an expert, right? You have to go out and meet the plants and learn them and see how they react to dog's body. And messing up is one of the best ways to become a great herbalist. So thank God most of our herbs are non-toxic.
Right.
So I have that, and then I have an oral holistic oral health course. I have an energetics course. My herbalism course, my level 1 herbalism course includes energetics. Um, and my flea course is coming out, and then I'll have a Lyme and tick course coming out for next spring. Um, I have a mushroom training coming out. I have lots of courses. And then I have a phytoembryonic therapy course that's out right now.
Okay.
That came out last year. That's learning how to use like kind of a system of medicine. They're called phytoembryonics. They are plant stem cells. And I
Oh,
use a lot of those in my practice and I just love them. That's a much more intensive course. It's for people, practitioners, and people who want to practice with their clients with using stem cells, or, for us nerds who just want to learn it.
so if someone they didn't know who you were, they came on here today, they're watching and they're like, this is very intriguing. What would be the first course that you would recommend that they start with? Just
I would do the level 1
know
course.
nothing about anything, and I just want to get my
Um,
toes.
well, if they didn't know, I would do my energetics course.
Okay.
It's
I
$75 and it's
recommend
its weight in gold. It is amazing course. I would
Okay.
do
And
that
then
one.
you can find the courses at canineherbalism.com. And yeah, for $75. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
it's really helps you with your dogs immensely. I mean, just immensely. Also, if you're on a budget, I have a great podcast. Um,
Yes, you do. I'm gonna put that up.
Yeah. Well, I've been told I have a great podcast. You know, uh, we are our worst critic. But it is a podcast. I don't interview people on my podcast yet, so it's just me teaching about a whole bunch of stuff. So this last podcast, I do short versions, 12 minutes, and then long versions. This last podcast was about how to read a formula. So, you know, uh, and I get like people write into the podcast and ask me what they want to learn about, and I try to teach people that want to learn on my podcast. So, and that's totally free.
Yeah, absolutely. You're driving, working out, whatever, you can pop that on very, very easily. And that's the Dogs Are Individuals podcast. And I did, for anyone who wants to go back and doesn't want to watch through this, there is at the beginning of the comments, I put a link up with all the links to how to find you and your courses and your shop and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, I also have one more thing that I have that I always forget to talk about. I don't know why. I don't know why.
you've got a lot
I
going
have
on. I mean, you're writing a book. Come on.
yeah, I have edit brain right now. I have edit brain. But I have a subscription community. It's $10 a month. It is the best way to get a hold of me. I get like over 100 emails a day. So
Wow.
like for someone to ask me a question, I don't do that via email unless you use the Ask the Herbalist on my one site. You can ask me questions, but for $10 a month, you get one free training. We do a free training on, we did hotspots last month. It's one free training and then a free Q&A every month, live Q&A. And then I answer questions every day. People tag me and they can ask me any question, human, dog, cat, horse, doesn't matter. And I answer them on this subscription group.
Yep, and then you can find that in the link right here under the link tree with all of her things. She's got
all of my stuff is on that link.
Things, yes, and that's also in the comments too. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions for us, but I know we're gonna raffle off a book here in a minute. So if you haven't commented yet, please comment with that hashtag because we're gonna get ready to do that. In fact, let's get started with that. Give me 1 minute. This is always so fun. We need like a drum roll. Come on. All right. This is fun. All right. We're going to raffle off a copy of this book, if you don't have it already, The Forever Dog Life. How fun is this?
I love it.
Julie Collins, you have won a copy of this book. And because I'm feeling generous and Rita has shared all of her knowledge with us today, we're going to do another one because why not?
I better hold
We're
up
gonna
the
wrap up
book.
2 books today.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, please. All right, Megan M. If you are local to me, you can come and pick the book up in the store. If you are not local to me, you can shoot me a message and I will get it in the mail to you. Is there anything else that we did not cover? This is like a topic we could talk about for like days. As you said, it takes years.
It doesn't take that long to get the gist of it, though.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've got some things I'm gonna use after us talking. So
yeah, my book is going to help people immensely learn how to use herbs. But Connie did say, where would I get the violet and the amount of it? Connie,
great. Yes.
I would I probably would use violet tincture. You could get that on my website, but I would get some dried violet. Viola odorata is the Latin name. Viola odorata.
How do we
I would
how do I
get
spell
that.
that? I'll type it in here.
Odorata.
ODOR what? TA?
Yeah. ODOR odorata. ODORATA.
Got it.
VIOLA. Viola.
Right.
That's the type of violet you're looking for. I would get some dried violet. You can get it on Etsy or Mountain Rose Herbs. Just check the Latin name. There's a lot of people that draw. I buy a lot of it on what I can't make myself. I buy on Etsy there's a lot of herbalists on Etsy. Okay. And I would make some tea every day for your dog. I'd steep the dried violet, probably about 15 to 20 minutes. And I would put about a 1/4 inch of cooled violet tea in your dog's bowl. I would probably do once in the morning and once at night, and then give a dose of the tincture in the middle of the day if you can.
That's great information. So, and Connie, I think you might be coming to the summit. So if you are, make sure you go say hi to Rita. So
yeah.
So, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on. You are a wealth of knowledge. We're going to see you in 2 weeks here, and the party will continue on, the Forever Dog Life, all the fun things coming up. You've got a lot of things happening, so make sure you follow Rita's channels. You'll see all the things that she's got coming up, all of her courses. I did post those in the comments there. And thank you, everyone. I'll be back on here Monday, I believe, around 2 o'clock with Lauren from Girls Gone Raw. We'll be talking about all things fur that your dogs can eat. So this will be an interesting one. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Rita, thank you as always. And I will see you 2 weeks from now. I'll see you.
Super exciting.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.